round table. On my screen here is some Toukiden Kiwami. Pretty soon Toukiden 2 will be coming out. I'm very much looking forward to that because they've changed the nature of the game to an open world system, added some new weapons and some new stuff, and I'm very looking much forward to playing the sequel. But right now I can play the original that I recently reacquired because I was just in the mood to play it again. This is episode 16, entitled Differing Opinions, basically. Or differing opinions is what I want to say. See, everyone has different opinions about different things, and I, like you, are also entitled to your opinion. I recently noticed a couple days ago I had 10 subscribers, which is not shit in the grand scheme of things. And now I'm down to 9, which means someone unsubscribed. And maybe they didn't like my channel format, but more than likely it's probably because one of a few videos where they may have gotten a little upset. Maybe I took a dump all over Star Trek Online yesterday when I basically said, to boldly go and kill everything, because that's essentially that game is nothing but combat. It's one long combat game with very light exploration elements and virtually no diplomacy. I don't think there's really any, to be honest with you. Which is why, as much as I'm a huge Star Trek fan, it's not on my hard drive anymore because I realized the shallowness of that game. And maybe they got a little mad and decided to unsubscribe. Or maybe they got mad because I said, hey, you're wrong about the Technomancer. And I did one of why you're wrong on the Homefront the Revolution. And tomorrow and every Friday I do a why you're wrong. And the thing is that maybe you took it as if, what I'm saying to you is factual. Well, it is factual as far as I'm concerned. You are wrong about those games. You read the reviews and decided, fuck those games. Even though the Technomancer, for example, only really had one review that was kind of bad, and that was IGN's. Most of the reviews were above average, and a few were actually way above average. Go watch my buddy that I'm subscribed to, the Rageaholic, Razorfist, on it, because he, like me, loves the middle market. And the middle market is really the staple of how most games, that a lot of these great games kind of come out of, even though there's not really a middle market anymore. Thank you, Spiders. I hope you make a Technomancer too. And I believe, in my opinion, that if you are one of those gamers who automatically have an opinion about a game and you never played it, you never bothered to play it, I don't care if you sat back and watched 20 Let's Plays of it, and each Let's Play was an hour long. That doesn't, just watching a game and playing it for yourself is are night and day. I can watch a game all day long, and I have done this and been like, that looks cool, and then picked up the game. I was like, yeah, not my cup of tea. Don't really care for it. Or I've also watched gameplay videos and thought I might check that out. Ended up being pretty cool. Battlemage Lichdom is one of those type of games, as a matter of fact, and I own it digitally, and which is what tomorrow's episode is going to be about. Why you're wrong about that one, but that's for tomorrow. And the thing about differing opinions is that it's okay to have a different opinion from the person that's doing the video, or maybe your friend really likes this game and you don't, but you don't need to be like, hey, you know what, I don't like the game, so you can't like the game either because I say it's bad, which it doesn't matter. Now, am I concerned about losing a subscriber? I am partially concerned because I hate to lose subscribers because I have very few. So, and I don't get paid for any of this, by the way. I don't have anything set up like a Patreon thing to get any kind of money. I don't have any advertisements. It's not like YouTube's like, hey, you can't watch my channel and there's going to be advertisements and I get advertisement. I'm not like PewDiePie and partnered with Disney, or was partnered with Disney. The thing about it is, is that, but 90% of me also doesn't give two shits that you decided to unsubscribe from me because you didn't like my opinion of something that I talked about. Which just goes to show that you're, to me, that's kind of like, well, even if you didn't like it, you obviously liked other videos I had made and stuck around. So somewhere along the lines, something I said or about some game or whatever, kind of ruffled your feathers to the point where you're like, well, I'll show him and I'll unsubscribe. Oh yeah, well, big deal. I don't really care if that's the reason behind it. And I don't. And I partially care, but I really don't in the grand scheme of things. It'd be different if I had 1 million subscribers and I lost 10,000 of them all of a sudden. Yeah, then that might be a little concerning, but those people who have those subscribers like that, they're getting paid to do these YouTube. And they're loading up videos through their computer and using cameras and sophisticated stuff. I'm streaming from a fucking PS4. In my living room through a mic, and you can't even see me personally. And I wanted to talk about the differing opinions because to me, it's very important to understand that, that having different opinions is not that is fine because that's what it's about. And I think that it's a shame that we somehow, some way, we as gamers, in particular, gamers are probably the worst about this. I'm even done this, and I try not to do it now and haven't in a while, is that it's okay. It's okay to have a different opinion. I told a friend of mine today, we were talking about GTA, and I said, GTA 5. I said, yeah, GTA 5, in particular online, it's fun, but I grow bored of it after a while. And that's the truth of the matter. I don't know what it is about it, but after you do so much in the game, I found myself just kind of bored with it. I'm bored with the game. I don't want to play it because I'm just kind of doing the same stuff. And even though they've added a lot of stuff to the game personally, it's still very much I don't know, there's just, after a while, I find it boring. I think Mafia 3 has got a better and more interesting, thing going for it in an open world sense. Even though GTA 5 is still really cool, and it's great, but really, to me, only in small doses. It's only good in small doses. And that's the truth. That's how I feel about it. It's my opinion, though. It's not fact. You may completely 100% disagree with me. You might think, well, that's not true. I don't feel that way about the game. I think the game is one of the best games. It's fun. It never gets old. I'm ranked, 700 and something, 500 and something, or whatever you are. That's fine. Your opinion is just as valid as my opinion, as far as I'm concerned. That's the truth. So like I said, I think that some people get a little, on the YouTube community in particular, they get a little kind of bent out of shape sometimes about it. And I don't think, like I said, but you really shouldn't. Who cares if someone has some opinion that you don't agree with? Because that's just the nature of people, If everyone agreed on everything, or, it would just be boring. It'd be a boring place, I think. And again, that's my opinion, but that's really how I feel about it. I think, at the end of the day, having a different opinion about whatever is important, because it shows diversity, I played Tom Clancy Wildlands, and I don't see it being a game that I would want to spend $60 on. I'd spend 20 on it, because it's cool, but it's it's just the game world's lifeless. It doesn't bring anything really new to the table. Does it have a cool creative player? Yeah, but this game here has a cool creative player, and Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires has a cool creative player. It's that's not a new thing. And yes, maybe your open world is has some kind of dynamics going on, but to me it just feels like, it's almost like you borrowed elements from like Just Cause and like a bunch of other open world games, and none of it is like original. Now, other people might think that this is not the case. They might think, well, no, I mean, this is you're wrong about that because the game's great. I played the beta and I loved it and the graphics and everything. Well, yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you were personally able to get, something really cool out of it, and that you are looking forward to buying it. Like, I'm very much looking forward to playing Toukiden 2 because I love Monster Hunter style games. Monster Hunter, God Eater, Toukiden, there's different ones. Ragnarok, Ace Odyssey. I mean, there's just a bunch of different things out there. And you might think these games are boring, and even though I would disagree with you, I still think your opinion is valid because you have a right to your opinion. That's the truth. And I would say, I really wish that you could see what I see, but you don't, and that's fine. There's people who's been playing Star Trek Online, for example, for for years. They love it, but I couldn't see myself, playing a game for 5 years that's all you do is combat. You do nothing else in the game. It's just, that to me does not work. I just think I would just get like, well, this is all there is. I don't think I could spend that much time, playing the game per se, for that long of a period of time. But because of the nature of the game. But some people, that might be their thing. They just want to combat and kick ass and destroy everything. Again, more power to you. And having a differing opinion is, again, it's fine. But I don't think that you should also be like, well, you know what? Because my opinion differs from that person, I'm going to write a shit comment on the video, or I'm gonna troll them, or I'm gonna, like, why? What's the point? I mean that's ultimately, that is self-defeating. Like, you are literally doing it for no reason other than to say, well, I don't like the fact that my opinion and that person's opinion is wrong. That's like some shit that they do, for these presidential campaigns. That's a whole nother. They do the same thing. They different opinions, so then they spend most of the campaign, coming up with dirt and saying as negative shit as they can about them, But that's pointless. It really is at the end of the day. And I want you to know that if you are a subscriber to me, that's why I'm always telling you, tell your other people and subscribe to me. I would like to have 100 subscribers, by the end of this year. 100's not a lot, But, if you're going to unsubscribe to me just because I have an opinion, which I'm entitled to, or, then again, that's your opinion, that's your prerogative to do so. But if you think that it's really going to, where I'm going to be like, oh my God, oh no, I lost a subscriber, no, come back. Yeah, you got to be fucked up in your thinking if you think I'm going to do that, because that ain't going to happen. And the Gaming Roundtable is supposed to be a site about discussion. That's why I want people to put comments, or want to be or if you'd like to be part of the show, you can. Juiceman3941 is my PSN tag. All you gotta do is find me on there, write me, and I'll get you in the show. I want to have the roundtable discussion, discuss an opinion. I'll have the person joining me. Hey, what do you want to talk about, subject related? What is important to you? And that to me is what I want the Gaming Roundtable to ultimately be. A discussion site, not a reviewer where I review games, not, let's discuss, how this is and that. Now, I did change my format this season. I did do first impressions on the Wildlands beta. It wasn't a review, but it was It was an impression, and I'm going to be bringing impressions of games, and I'm going to bring you gameplay from games that you may not even would have given a second thought to. Games like Killing Floor 2 that I bought, Yakuza 0, those games that don't get the press I think that they deserve, and that's important. But this is all I'm saying is if you're going to it's okay to have a difference in opinion, but you don't need to be, well, I want to be mad and troll them for it, or put some stupid comments, or do this or do that. It's just, to me, it's just ultimately self-defeating. Because, see, I don't do that. I've watched Angry Joe's show, like his review of Destiny. He nails almost every single point about Destiny that's jacked up about it. But Angry Joe never went back and reviewed it after The Taken King came out, which I would like to see him re-review the game to see how he feels about what they have changed in the game, but he never did. Because I don't think after playing Destiny, he's like, I'm done. I don't care what they do. Or he didn't have time to. And even though there are some times where different opinions, like the time that he reviewed Dragon Age and he kept talking about microtransactions and multiplayer, where, he never mentioned the fact that you can actually earn gold in those multiplayer missions, and after 2 or 3 runs, you got enough to buy one of those chests. That's the truth. But he never really mentioned that, because either he never went that, which made me feel like he never really played the multiplayer. He just never really did. He never got to that point in the game. Maybe he got too busy. I mean, he is a busy man. And I love Angry Joe. He's the first person I ever subscribed to on YouTube. But I didn't sit there and say, well, he said this about Dragon Age, and now I'm going to put some shitty comments. Because that's what a lot of people do, or they unsubscribe, or they do something, or they dislike, whatever they do. And I think that that's the wrong approach that we should have with our fellow YouTubers. We're all gamers at heart. Whether you like shooters, or driving games, or flyers, or whatever you like, we're all gamers in this together, in this community, and we should act more like a community. It's okay to have different opinions, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite alright. I have been the Juice Man. Thanks for sitting down at the Gaming Roundtable, and as always, gamers, good gaming.